In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a clean self-taper in 15 simple steps. This includes the blend, the C-cup, and the vertical bars. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your comb and you're going to comb out the area that you are about to cut. In this case, I'm combing out the left side of my taper because we're going to do a low taper fade. I prefer to use a comb over a brush in this section because the comb lifts the hair off the skin, which makes it a lot easier to cut the hair. Next, you're going to set your first initial guideline using your trimmers. And I like to use my ear as reference. I like to place this first guideline between the tragus and the daith because it is a low taper. If I wanted it higher, I would place it right where my ear and my head connect. After setting that first initial guideline, clear the hair below it by flipping over your trimmer and just going up to the line that you just created. And for these next couple of steps, just like step 2, we're just going to be setting initial guidelines. So the next step is to use your clipper now and to go with no guard, lever open, and you're gonna go up about a quarter to half of an inch. And like I said earlier, I like to use my ear as a guide, so for this one I like to go right to where my ear and my head connect. I know not to go above that or else my taper will be pushed way too high for my liking. And when you get to the top of this guideline, make sure that you're flicking out so that you can reveal what the actual guideline is supposed to be by taking away all the overhanging hair. Next, we're going to put on the one guard with the lever opened and we're going to follow above that guideline that we just created. For this step and for this guard, I like to not go above the height of my ear. If I go above the height of my ear, this pushes the taper way too high for my liking, and instead of a low taper, this then becomes a mid taper. And once again, as you can see, once I start getting to that top layer, I start flicking out so that it starts getting rid of all the overhang and the actual guideline that I'm setting can be revealed. And when I brush or comb down this area of my hair, you can see that no hair is going over the guideline that I just created with the one guard. And for step 5, we're now going to throw on the 2 guard with the lever opened again, but instead of creating a guideline with this one, we're actually just going to straight up flick out at the area. I'm choosing to flick out on this area specifically because I don't want to create another guideline in order to get to the rest of my hair. My hair is pretty long in this small little section, so I want to blend the taper into the longer hair. Creating another guideline isn't necessarily bad in this case, but it will push the taper a bit high, and I don't want that, as I keep reiterating. So next we're going to get out that dark line, and we're going to do so now with a 1.5 guard with the lever halfway. I noticed that when I have the lever halfway and I use the corners of the clipper, that it takes out the line so much easier with less mistakes compared to when the lever is closed. I find that sometimes when the lever is closed, I'm more prone to make mistakes because it's cutting more hair. Something to keep in mind when blending out the guidelines that we created in the previous steps is to always use the corners. With the corners, you're going to cut less hair, but you get a more precise cut. You might be going over the area a couple more times compared to if you were to use the entire blade, but you get a more precise, clean fade. It just allows for more control. This might be a bad analogy, but imagine like a big eraser and a small eraser. The small eraser is going to get the little details, but the big eraser might erase too much. And we don't want to erase too much with this taper. Next, we're going to repeat the same step that we just did, but this time with the half guard and the lever halfway. There's a small faint line in between the one and the no guard that we're going to get out with this half guard. And once again, I think with the half guard closed, it cuts a bit too much to a point where then I would have to create more steps of going in with the one guard closed and pushing it up a bit, then the one guard open, and so on and so on. With the lever halfway, it just takes out the line so naturally and so easy. And now the final part to blending out all the guidelines we've created, we're gonna now go in with the no guard lever closed. And we're not going halfway simply because we made that first initial guideline with the liners, and the liners are zero gapped, meaning that it's going to cut as close as possible to the skin. So going in with the lever closed will get us as close as possible to that length, which is basically like no hair, bald type. I slightly open the lever because sometimes that no guard lever all the way closed can create another guideline, and in order to get that guideline that it just created out, you just have to slightly open it, maybe midway, maybe a little less than midway, and using the corners once again, flicking out at that bottom line in order to completely take it out. And as you can see, the taper is looking pretty good so far, but I do see a really dark line, so I'm gonna go in with the 2 guard lever closed and I'm gonna flick out at that line. In step 6, we used a 1.5 guard with a lever halfway in order to take out the line, and it did a decent job at doing so, but the line still seemed visibly dark, so I went in with a higher guard, the 2 guard, and I closed the lever because at first we went in with the lever opened and it didn't take out the line. So we're gonna go in now with the lever closed in order to completely take it out. And as you can see, it's a little difference, but it's way better than how it looked previously without the 2 guard lever closed. Now that we got the taper done in 9 simple steps, we're gonna start with the lining process, and we're first gonna go around the ear. Even though this is such a little section, it does make a huge difference. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pull your ear down either from the bottom lobe, or you're gonna grab the top lobe and fold it down and comb out the area before you go in and start, detailing. And what you want to do is use the corners of the trimmer and just kind of follow in a circular motion, that natural circle that goes around your ear. You don't want to push it up too high because then you're gonna look crazy. Now we're gonna get into my favorite part, the C-cup. And the C-cup can be done in many ways, but I find the easiest way is to create 2 indents, one at the top of the C-cup and one at the bottom of the C-cup. And right now we're creating the top of the C-cup indent, and we're not gonna go too far in. We're just, like I said, we're just creating an indent, and we're gonna match these 2 indents in the next step, which makes it much easier to make that curved motion. Another little tip I can give y'all is for the top of the indent, you want to tap, and for the bottom of the indent, you want to push. When you push, which then, this brings us into step 12, where we connect the 2 indents that we just created using the corners of the trimmer. We hold the trimmer as if it were a pencil, and we're just kind of like tracing in the two connecting points. Once that C-cup is fully connected, you're going to use the liners again in order to get rid of any stubble that's kind of in the way. Trust your eye, trust what you can see, and don't push that C-cup any more in than what it has to be. I think a C-cup looks best when you have that top part still dark and the bottom part light enough to see. And now that we have the taper done, the ear lineup done, and the C-cup done, we can finally get into step 13, which is the vertical bar. And the vertical bar is pretty simple. All you have to do is push in with your trimmer and touch where the line begins. You may have some overhanging hair in this area, and what you're going to do is just comb it down and tap at that line, and then proceed with pushing it again. And now we're on to step 14, and the final tool that we're going to be using in this tutorial is the razor. In all honesty, in order to get a clean taper, you don't need to use a razor, but it definitely brings it up to the next level, especially in areas where you have a lot of stubbled hair. Specifically for me, I have a lot of stubble on the C-cup, so this is just going to make the C-cup even more sharp than what it already looks like. In order to use the razor, you're going to first start by stretching the skin and holding the razor 45 degrees parallel to your skin. If you were to hold it 90 degrees, you're just going to be cutting yourself. 65 degrees, you're more prone to cut yourself. And if you were to do anything below 45 degrees, you're not really going to be cutting much. And with the razor, you're going to go in the opposite direction that the hair grows in. We brushed everything down, so we're going to go up with the razor on the top of the C-cup, and we're going to go to the side, specifically toward the right in this video, on the bottom of the C-cup in order to give it that nice curved, sharp motion, sharp look. And after you finish this part on the C-cup, you're going to do the same exact thing on the vertical bar. This is going to be really quick and easy since it's just one little section. All you have to do is just stretch the skin and push the razor into, where those stubbles are. You don't want to push too many stubbles in, because when your hair grows back, all those stubbles are just going to look a little, it's going to look ugly, and you don't want that. And just like that, you're now able to do a taper in 15 simple steps. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what other haircut tutorials you guys would like to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one.